This week, at least until we learned of local car dealerships going head-to-head in court, many of us were buzzing about how Councillor Bruckschweger overcome Mayor McDougall's opposition to giving citizens of the CBRM a tax break, getting his way and locking in a 5% drop. After observing the gaslighting of CBRM councillors like Cyril McDonald, pretending we have to find the money somewhere as though we don't actually have $15 million more to work with, I realized there's an even bigger poker tell right before our eyes. Hi, I'm Joe Ward of Boxer Shorts Media, and I think the tell may confirm the worries of many related to the property tax cap. One of those key worries is, of course, that when they break the tax cap, the CBRM will use it to tax us even more by nudging rates upwards. Follow me here for a minute and I'll explain. The tax cap breaking is supposed to promote fairness in what property owners are paying. Now, there's no doubt it's unfair right now, just as there's no doubt that paying among the highest property taxes in the entire country, in one of the most poorly performing economies, is tremendously unfair to all of us. But the CBRM has emphasized in their presentations on the topic of breaking the cap that it would be tax revenue neutral. What does neutral mean? Well, it means that they're suggesting their only goal is to create fairness in tax bills between CBRM residents and not to raise more money by lifting the rates. Do you know why I don't believe that for 1 second right now? Well, here's the obvious tell. As soon as they received the $15 million from Houston, the draft budget immediately spent it all. And now they're trying to tell us that they don't know how they would fund the Bruckschweger 5% rate cut, or as I call it, gaslighting. Councillor Cyril McDonald also made an interesting comment during his Information Morning interview with Steve Sutherland. He floated the idea that he's reluctant to support the tax cut because the Houston $15 million might not be renewed next year. He said we might drop the rate by 5%, only to increase it by 7% the following year. Yes, the percentage will be larger to bring the same amount of revenue back, but is he implying that they're already looking at increasing our current tax rates right now? Because of the way this $15 million has been immediately mopped up and allocated throughout the draft budget, I'm giving overwhelming Vegas odds that if the CBRM gets to break the tax cap, they're not going to do it in a net neutral way, and certainly not for very long. And it'll be something that will be relatively easy to slip by us. When the rates are adjusted downwards, the perception will be that we're saving on the rate. But if that rate isn't lowered enough to just make the total tax revenue they collect the same as before, then what they will have done is increased our taxes. They'll have held back some of the savings you were supposed to see. If they mopped up the $15 million, you don't think that they'll be seeing breaking the tax cap as an ideal opportunity to take more from us? Maybe they don't even realize what they'll eventually do, but I assure you that it's the most likely explanation we should have right now. Ultimately, this probably isn't a discussion we'll be having for a very long time. Mayor McDougall is going to give priority to the cap removal strategy within her role with the Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities that includes the HRM, making that role's objectives a priority over her role as our CBRM mayor. No political leaders are really gung-ho to break the cap due to its political risks for their re-election. But if they finally do so during our mayor's 4-year term, she'll be supporting what all the others want, not what is best for us. Well, that's my prediction. That's the most likely way it'll all play out, and what she's going to do, unless she removes herself from a conflict of interest position as the president of the Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities and makes the CBRM her top priority when it comes to everything, including the tax cap strategy. I definitely didn't vote for the president of the NSFM or to have her support a policy beneficial to the HRM in that role. Some of you are getting beat up so badly by taxes without the luxury of the cap that you probably don't care if they take more from us all, as long as you get some relief. And I completely understand where you're coming from. Surviving here in the CBRM financially absolutely has to be your top priority for your family. But here's the bad news. The mayor is supporting a 10-year removal, and it might take 10 years for them to actually get brave enough to implement it. So can you afford to hang on for 10 to 20 years? If not, like me, you'll realize that we need a better plan for the CBRM. And I have a couple of options I'd like to talk about in an upcoming video, so please subscribe and let me know your thoughts and concerns below.
Please hang up and try again.